Morning, welcome back. We're on fence project part 2. So Amy did a great job yesterday of putting good few more of the posts in, so we're down to the last 2 to go in. But the trouble we're having now is just there's loads of stone. So this top half, which presumed was going to be easier because down the bottom there in the bottom right corner there's loads of roots. There's digger just ripped through those. It was hard to pull the stuff out, but it just ripped through them. The stone, however, is a lot more difficult. It's like this hole here, I'm only about 15-20 centimeters down at most, and we need to go down about 40, so barely even halfway. And there's another post down there. It's not just wonky, it's just kind of resting in the hole. Again, it's about 20-25 centimeters down, and we've just hit complete stone. So you have to try something different for this hole. now got all the posts in the ground, but we've got a couple more things before we start actually putting the fencing on. What we're doing this morning is putting on a seal to the top of the posts to stop them drying out so quickly, especially in the sun, because the sun is very hot and it's probably not going to get much cooler for at least the next 8 to 10 weeks. So what we're using is glue, PVA glue or wood glue mixed with water. So apparently that will seal the ends of a post once it starts to dry. The water mixed in is so that it seeps into the wood a little bit better. Once this is dried, we'll go over with another coat that is just glue, and that will dry and it will seal the top of the posts. Apparently the reason you can't use this on the base is because if it sits in moisture then it starts to go tacky. So I guess we'll see how this works on the top, but I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. Then the other thing we need to do at the end post is put in a 45-degree bracing post that will stop those end ones being kind of pulled over once the tension of the fence is pulled onto them. So they go in about 45 degrees, we cut a slot for them to sit into the post, and then the other end goes in the ground, and then that gives them a little bit extra support. take this boy down the other end. Basically, we need to unroll it all the way back to the top now. Go. Is it going tighter?
Best one yet.
Right, go put a fence up now. we go.
Got a fence.
Got a fence. Oh, that was hard. So we now have our fence in. It's finished, or at least this section of it is finished. Like we talked about, the bottom section is going to get some more fencing and also up the side behind me. But for now, this boundary, the fence is done. The end posts need a little bit extra support, but we'll get to that another day. So what we need to do now is put in the passion fruits and the extra blueberries that we bought, get them in the ground so that they over time are going to make this bit of fence a useful and productive addition to the homestead. So it's not just a fence for the sake of having a fence. It's actually going to make it very useful, and over time will give us hopefully a lot of passion fruit. And the idea with the berries is they're going to kind of do the same. They will grow up. The raspberries, I actually think we need to plant in a bit closer to the fence. So later in the year we're gonna move them in a little bit closer, and we can kind of trellis them as they grow. The blueberries will support themselves, so they'll kind of cover it up and make it still a very useful part of the garden. And then the passion fruits will vine them and trail them along the fence and make as much use of that space as possible. Amy's already dug 2 holes for the blueberries. We're going to dig 2 more holes for the passion fruits, and we can whack them in. Maybe a bit wide there as well if you can. Ah, that's good there. And then in the space, this will grow. Is that big enough?
I have some bramble roots here.
Yeah. them in there. How is the roots looking? The roots actually look pretty good. Yeah, they're not too bound. How's that?
Good.
I guess they're much smaller plants for the size of pots, so they don't get as root bound.
Right.
Yeah, still won't play pot bit though. How's that?
Good.
You will now notice it's a lot later in the day as we're planting these blueberries. Then we're also going to plant the passion fruits next.
Passion fruits.
The main reason we didn't put them in earlier is mostly because it was just too hot.
Didn't want them to struggle.
So it's now like 8 PM and it's a bit cooler, so we're putting them in now. To finish off our fence project, phase 1 of our fence project. We got 2 different kinds of blueberries. I don't necessarily know if one of them is the same as the ones we've got. One of them's a Toro, if that means anything to anyone, and the other one is a pink blueberries.
Lemonade.
Pink lemonade, I think variety is called. So hopefully when we get some blueberries on that one, they'll be pink.
So we'll never know that they're ready.
So we'll see how they turn out when they grow, which presumably will be next year.
Yep. Passiflora edulis.
You can have about a ton bag. One. Let's do number 2. couple more roots on him, is there?
Mm.
Fill them in now.
You need to go round a little bit more.
There we go. The passion fruits are in. That is phase 1 of the fence project is done. Those passion fruits are going to grow and we're going to trail them and trellis them along the fence. So they apparently grow kind of like 3 to 6 meters tall. So what we're trying to do is kind of use that height and trail it along the fence as much as we can. In an ideal world, they'll grow enormously all along the fence, too much, and then we'll have to cut them back loads, and they'll cover a lot of the fence and we'll get loads of passion fruits. But I guess we'll see how it goes, and hopefully next year we'll get some fruit off them. And also, we haven't forgotten about the tiny house project. We are going to be doing more work on that in the next few days. We're probably going to be taking out the floor. In the next video, believe it or not, we're going to be planting more vegetables. We're going to be putting in another veg bed, and we're going to be planting a bunch of new stuff for July, and I think it's all stuff, or at least varieties, we haven't grown yet. So it's going to be cool. But see you later in the week. Thank you for watching.
Bye. We have 5 melons.